What is up everyone, Socks101 here, and today we are doing another team building video. This time something a little bit different once again because, as I said in the previous team building video, I want to broaden my horizon. Once again it's going to be UU tier though, but this time I'm going to build somewhat of a defensive team. And as you've seen in my recent videos, I'm a very offensive player, and that's the way I like to go, that's the way I like to roll in Pokemon in general, because I think defense is boring. So I kind of went with the leeway. I wanted to build, I didn't want to go full on stall because that's just for dickheads only, or when you want to win tournaments, then it's the only way you can justify it, I bet. And the other thing is that I kind of wanted to go with a 4-man defensive core, a bulky offensive mon, and like a very offensive mon. So that's what we're going to do today. And a mon I wanted to use, that's the only reason why I'm basically using it. I wanted to build around this Pokemon because I picked it first, and I decided, you know what, let's build around Slowbro, because I have not used Slowbro in forever. We're not going to go with the Mega for a good reason, because we're going to use a different Mega. And we're gonna go with the Regenerator, the Scald, the Fire Blast, Slack Off, and Toxic. Toxic because we want to start willing things down. With the Spadef, we actually put in 24 because apparently that allows you to live a 2 Hydro Pumps from Specscalio after Stealth Rock switch-ins. But you need to have your leftovers intact, so that's the reason why we put 24 there. Obviously we're gonna go with the max HP, and the rest of it we are going to dump into defense and give this guy a bold nature. So something that really works well, well, just talking about this Slowbro, Slowbro kind of lures in Ferrothorn, and then you can just click Fire Blast, and I do think it's a 2-hit KO because Slowbro has a nice special attack stat with 100. So Slowbro is really good, really bulky, and actually also can deal a lot of damage. Scald is there because we want to get those burns and whittle teams down, because that's kind of what a defensive team does. And then maybe our late game sweeper can sweep the game. So that's gonna be it. That's gonna be that. Next Pokemon is going to be Mega Venusaur. I'm not too fond of this Pokemon. It's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to quit, and as soon as the Megas came out, and I thought Megas were stupid, and Mega Venusaur was just everywhere right there. Then, when everything came out, when all these Megas came out, and Mega Venusaur was everywhere in OU, and it was really stupid to kill. It was annoying as hell because my old teams didn't work, and I was very frustrated with it. Venusaur is actually one of the reasons why I took like a 3-4 month break off of Pokemon. Then a metagame changed, fortunately, and not everyone was running Mega Venusaur. But the start of X and Y, everyone was running Mega Venusaur, and it was so frustrating. And that's why we're using it, because it's frustrating, it's hard to kill, it's really bulky, and this also grants us a Keldeo switch in, because Keldeo is a very, very frustrating Pokemon. And so we're just gonna go with also another defensive Pokemon right here. Another one with the Bolt Nature, with the Giga Drain Sludge Bomb. Venusaur gets Thick Bat, so it actually takes away 2 weaknesses, so that's really great for Venusaur, and especially as a bulky Pokemon. Another thing that this team might like is this moveset. So as soon as you go HP Fire on this, because that's kind of why I wanted to go at, you can run HP Fire instead of Leech Seed, because then you can deal a lot easier with Bisharps. I don't really think that Bisharps that you necessarily struggle with Bisharp, but it's not something this team really appreciates. But as soon as you decide to go with HP Fire over Leech Seed on this Venusaur, then your IV is going to drop by 1. Then you get a 30 speed IV due to your hidden power Fire, and then you should run 20 speed EVs on your Venusaur. So that's something I'd like to address. And let's go on with the next Pokemon. So obviously we want something with, I almost typed Spadef Heatran right there, but I kind of gave it away. We are running Spadef Heatran on this. We're gonna get leftovers on this instead of Air Balloon, because our team doesn't really struggle with Earthquake, Ground moves, and leftovers is the only form of recovery Heatran gets. and it's actually really useful, especially combining with the protect, which this Heatran is going to carry. Basically why I'm doing this is because my team needs something with rocks. When you're building a bulky team, I say this on every variant. I say this on when you're running hyper offense, you need hazards. That's probably the team concept that you need hazards for most badly, my opinion. And but also going bulky, getting when you're playing an offensive team and whittling that team down slowly with the stealth rocks, with entry hazards in general, then you're going to be doing really well. So that's why we are gonna go with the stealth rocks, lava plume, toxic once again for whittling things down, and protect for obvious reasons. Once you get the lava plume, we're just gonna go with the recommended spread, 252 speed F, no speed at all. If you'd like to run me a certain amount of speed on your Heatran, leave that in the comments and tell me why, because I didn't check speed tiers for this mon, which I probably should have, admittedly, but I like Heatran the way it is, and I've used this Heatran a lot in the past, and it's amazing. So as soon as you have stealth frogs on another mon, then you can obviously run like earth power or flash cannon on this, but we don't have a mon that learns stealth frogs other than our last Pokemon, but I don't want that to run stealth frogs. You'll see as it goes. So now we need something that gets rid of hazards, because defensive teams don't like hazards. Well, the majority of teams don't like entry hazards, but especially bulky defensive teams. As soon as the opponent is kind of trying to pressure you, which is what he should do by making aggressive plays, offensive switches, stuff like that, you don't appreciate stealth frogs on your side of the field, and especially not a combination of stealth frogs and spikes. So we needed something that gets rid of those, and I wanted actually something that pairs up really nicely with Heatran. So here we go. I wanted actually something that was also immune to ground moves, because it's not a problem to our team, but being Zapdos, it just alleviates so much of the pressure on Slowbro and Mega Venusaur. So we're gonna go with the Thunderbolting. We're gonna go with the Bolt Beam Zapdos, which is my favorite Zapdos. Hidden power ice, I can't type right now, and then we have the obvious Defog and Roost. So Zapdos always runs a peculiar moveset, which is alright, I guess. This is what is recommended on Smogon, so I'm not completely sure why it's this exact spread. I do know that it's amazing, and I've used it a lot in the past, and it pairs up so well with Heatran because of the ground immunity, and the Bolt Beam just tends to hit a lot because they can switch in like Landorus or Garchomp on your predicted T-Bolt, but you don't really care because you can obviously take at least one hit, and then you can just retaliate back with a hidden power ice. Garchomp feels rather safe setting up stealth rocks against the Zapdos, but it gets to it KO'd by hidden power ice, so it's not really safe there, and you do not fear Garchomp in the slightest, and so you can defog those hazards away. Roost, try to predict around the earthquake, because as soon as you go for Roost, you obviously lose your flying type, and then Garchomp might become a problem. But well, it's not like you still have a Mega Slowbro and a Mega Venusaur in the back, but you don't want to lose your Zapdos as soon as there is still a threat of him setting up hazards. That's Zapdos' main job, and Zapdos is one of the most reliable defoggers in the current metagame. So since we're doing the Aegislash suspect test, it's kind of obvious that we are gonna go with an Aegislash. So this is our defensive core of Slowbro, Venusaur, Heatran, and Zapdos. So we still have the water, fire, grass core, which I didn't intentionally make, which I just discovered as soon as I built the team, and I tested it a couple times. I'm currently like 6-0 with this team, and I thought, well, this works, so let's just throw it on a team building video. So that's why we're doing this. And in comes Aegislash, and I wanted to use Aegislash. I was thinking, I was traveling back home from uni, and I was thinking, well, maybe I should build a concept like this, and then just go with Aegislash as my bulky special attacker. So that's what we're gonna do. Aegislash always runs the King Shield, and then we want some priority on the team, and Aegislash just really appreciates priority, so we're gonna go with Shadow Sneak, we're gonna go with the Shadow Ball, and with the Flash Cannon. Not with regular Flash though, with Flash Cannon. So the Aegislash bet we're gonna be running is plain and simple. We are going to be running a Quiet Nature, max HP, max special attack, and the remaining 4 we're just going to put them in defense, but it doesn't really matter because you can also very well put them in SPDF or maybe even attack. Let's put them in attack because we want that Shadow Sneak to not be a roll on anything ever. Not that it matters a whole lot. I mean, I don't think it ever will matter. If it matters, that's great. If it doesn't, well, that's fine too, right? So for our last Pokemon, we wanted something that's offensive. And looking at this team, it doesn't really deal with a lot of Pokemon that are quite weak to ice. And something that can deal with Pokemon that are quite weak to ice, and also deals with a lot of threats in the current metagame, in my opinion, because I've been using it a bit recently, and I've really felt I really regained love with MamoSlash. MamoSlash and I were a couple in 5th gen, and we kind of drifted apart during 6th gen, and then I decided, you know what, let's pick up MamoSlash again, because MamoSlash is a legend. So we're gonna go with the Life Orb set and with Thick Fat. And this is why I don't want to run Stealth Rocks nor Freeze Dry on this guy. I'm kind of just gonna go with the Icicle Crash, Earthquake, oh boy, Earthquake on Stone Edge. So the reason why we run Edgequake is because Talonflames, Zards maybe want to come in, or just in general flying types that want to come in on a... Wait, then we can just Icicle Crash them. But I generally run Stone Edge because quite super effective damage against especially Talonflame, because I do think we can live at least one hit due to Thick Fat. Brave Bird is not going to kill us either, so I do think MamoSlash with Stone Edge is the best option. We are going to be running Jolly because we want to outspeed other base 80s, and especially the base 70s really, with being Bisharp, Breloom, especially when Breloom is very tempting to Mach Punch you. Then, well, we still have a Venusaur, but let's say you're in a very bad situation. You just want to be outspeeding those base 70s and try to force them to go for their priority moves instead of, which are generally weaker. You just want to kind of force them to use their priority moves instead of their regular moves. So that's why we went with a Jolly Nature on this Pokemon. So this is the team. So once again, one last time, defensive Slowbro, defensive Venusaur, which could very well hit him by fire, but then you need to change the speed EVs to 20. And obviously take 4 out of defense, or take 4 out of HP. I don't really think that matters a whole lot. Then we go with Heatran, max HP, max speed of Heatran. Oh, this is actually not the best possible spread. Good thing we checked out. Let's just put them in defense. That's alright. So because then now you can live one more Stealth Rock switch in, and it's not going to be matter. It's not going to matter with rolls, probably ever. So this is why you want to run an odd number of HP on your Pokemon that is weak to Stealth Rocks. I know a lot of people do it with Heatran, but why would I switch in a Heatran like 12 times on Stealth Rocks? I'm calculating in like 8 times on Stealth Rocks, but I'm also calculating in the leftovers damage that you're going to get back after protecting stuff. So I mean, it's pretty stupid to put 248 in there and then put like 8 in special attack. It doesn't matter, you can just run the suggested spread. So next up, Aegislash. Especially Aegislash doesn't need an odd number of HP, but Aegislash is your special attacker. It takes a lot of hits, and it hits very hard with its base 150 special attack as soon as it goes into blade form. It just hits insanely hard, and Aegislash is generally a very cool mon, checks a lot in the metagame, and deals an awesome lot of damage, and especially with the King Shield it kind of forces 50-50 with like Zard X, amazingly threatening stuff like that. So that's good, that's why Aegislash is here, and that's why I love it. Long story short. Last mon, once again, MamoSlash, being the threat that it is, hitting very hard with the Ice Shard, with the Icicle Crash, the Earthquake, and the Stone Edge. We boosted our attacking capabilities with the Life Orb, And with that, I'd like to end this video. If there's anything you see on this team that you don't really like, that you don't really appreciate, that you think I should change, maybe I have glaring weaknesses which I haven't noticed yet, then I should kind of just change it to something else, to change Pokemon. Leave that in the comments, let me know. I will use it to the best of my capabilities if I kind of agree with what you're stating. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the first life battle with this team. Bye bye.